Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
This is the Art Vigil Show.
Art Vigil. Welcome to the Art Vigil Show!
Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing.
Undefeated out loud, baby. Everything is alright, baby. We on the road to riches, and you ain't getting no ride, baby.
Let's go. Hey, Corey, what's going on?
I'm chilling. How are you?
Not bad. It's been a while since we've jumped on a pod.
Hot minute.
A minute, yeah, exactly. How about there's so many discussion topics today. You got the franchise.
A lot of things are going on in the NFL 100%. There's like a shitload of things happening in free agency. Today's essentially franchise tag day. We saw a couple quarterback signings. Obviously, the quarterbacks are the biggest thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Carr going to the Saints, which I personally think is a good move for him.
And the Saints, 100%.
Yeah. I've been telling everybody that's decent in the AFC, like if any quarterback that's good in the AFC, if you have a chance to go to the NFC, you better, because it's a lot easier to get to the Super Bowl that way than it is to go through the AFC.
And you got some really good defenses there too, so you might as well go ahead and compete. Bring a good defense onto the into the Super Bowl if you can make it.
Yeah, he went from being maybe the third or fourth best quarterback in the AFC West to the number one quarterback in the NFC South.
And you go ahead and also compete with what? You essentially, you get to win that division more than likely, and you're going to go ahead and compete against very scarcely good quarterbacks. Could make an argument for him possibly being one of, if not the best quarterback in the NFC. I'd probably say Kyler Murray, but other than that, unless I'm missing someone.
Kyler Murray? No, you got Jalen Hurts. You have
apart from Hurts, that's what I completely forgot. I would not put Dak Prescott over Kyler Murray. I don't care any. I'm like in the minority of that. I think Kyler Murray's pretty decent. It's just, I think Dak Prescott sucks, to be honest.
I mean, in the NFC, I would say he's a top five.
Top five, yeah. Not top two.
No. I think if I had to name them now, it would be Hurts. I'm going to keep Rodgers up there. I know he had a bad year last year, but he's still four-time MVP.
Bad year, and still number 7 in passing touchdowns in the league.
Exactly.
With a shit receiving core, by the way.
A very, very, very young one. But, they had a full year. They got better as the year ended.
Yeah.
And from there, I would go – who would I go from there?
Kirk, Goff, I guess Purdy.
Yeah, Goff. No, Purdy wouldn't be up there.
Yeah. Geno.
I wouldn't put Geno, yeah. Then I would
Stafford,
have Dak, Stafford. Yeah, so it's basically wide open. Whoever has the best defense, or as the Saints, the worst division, or one of the worst divisions in football.
Yeah.
If not the worst. And then we have a franchise tag with Lamar Jackson. Non-exclusive, which means basically, and I know everybody listening to this probably knows it because they've heard it 1,000 times on the shows, that's basically 2 first-round picks.
Exactly.
I mean, granted, if he signs, which I doubt he will, for $32 million, that's not a bad payday for a year.
He's not going to do it. Hell no, he's not going to do it.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, no, he's gonna completely fuck over that franchise as much as he possibly can, because they've essentially fucked him over. Biggest thing was them paying Roquan Smith as they're entering the playoffs without paying him after the whole thing that happened in the offseason going into this season. So, I mean, it's ridiculous what the Ravens are doing with him. I can't wait to see him go somewhere else. I think the Jets chapter is probably closed. I don't think there's a chance of him going to the Jets. They closed the Falcons opportunity. The Falcons said they're not going to be pursuing him anymore. So we're probably going to be seeing him go to either the Raiders, maybe Miami.
Wait. What happened with the Jets?
Well, the Jets have talked to Aaron Rodgers already, and they just flied representatives out to Green Bay to go talk to the Rodgers and Packers in person. So a lot of things heating up over there.
Dude, I'm telling you, if Rodgers goes to the Jets, he's going to freaking hate it. He's definitely following the footsteps of Brett Favre. I mean, why would you do? You had to sit behind him for 4 years, and you're playing the same games that he's playing. Granted, you're getting paid a shit ton more.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go to the Jets? Oh, my God.
Well, I wouldn't say. I mean, come on, dude. The roster of the Jets is pretty solid.
Dude,
what are you talking about?
Okay, give me a break. You have a bunch of young players that played okay last year. Granted, you do need a quarterback. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
Although, as you know, Mike White's if he went to NFC, he'd be a top 5 quarterback.
I think he would. I'm going to be honest. I think he would.
I knew I had to throw that there. Throw that out there. Yeah. I just don't see Aaron Rodgers wanting to continue to follow in the footsteps as far. I would tell Green Bay, not Green Bay. First of all, I tell Green Bay I'm staying. And
really?
maybe have him. Oh, yeah, I would stay. I would definitely stay. Because they fucked him over by drafting Love. I'd say, I'm staying.
Oh, out of that.
And then have Love say, you know what, I'm out.
That'd be funny.
Trade me.
And then he retires.
That's probably the game and then I retire the next season.
Yeah.
That's the game that I would play.
Or even better, just that season.
What's up?
Or just retire as you're leading into the season.
Oh, well,
after
once
the draft, he retires. That'd be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny. So yeah, I just don't see him in that ugly green. It just doesn't.
Now, don't get me wrong. The green doesn't maybe suit him much. But just looking at the team overall, for at least compared to the Packers, the running game has its depth. Not necessarily the strongest running game because of the O-line dying out, essentially. But with a healthy O-line, healthy Mekhi Becton, healthy Elijah Vera Tucker, who was unbelievable last season, and obviously if Breece Hall is on track with his recovery, as they've said he is at least, it could be pretty solid with Breece Hall, Michael Carter in the run game. Obviously, it's not Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, but I think
I was going to say, yeah, I was waiting for you to take a breath. I was like, they're still not Jones.
Yeah, Michael Carter is not up there. I 100% believe Breece Hall is up there. I mean, the guy was absolutely outstanding last season, at least for the little bit of time we had for him. Of course, still have to see how he is after an ACL injury, right?
And he was a rookie.
Exactly.
He got hurt, what, 10 weeks in?
6 weeks in.
Was it 6? Yeah.
6,
so
7,
he hasn't played a full 17 games plus playoffs.
Yeah,
so
we got to
ever make the playoffs. But if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm staying as far away from that. I'd rather go to the Texans if I were
come on, man,
than to go to the Jets. No, what? The Jets are going to be still the 3rd or 4th team in that division.
Oh, come on, with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback?
Absolutely.
They were 7-10 with Zach Wilson and Joe Flacco. Mike White playing a couple of games, and he played one of them with basically his ribs out of its own fucking place. Like, that team is solid. Garrett Wilson is phenomenal overall. Elijah Moore obviously didn't have the greatest season last season. Had a little bit of issues internally with the team. We lost 6 games in a row to close the year. It was horrible. Zach Wilson in that locker room was so out of pocket. It was horrible. It was genuinely horrible.
I agree. The Dolphins barely beat you guys, 15-11 or something like that in the
last
game of the season.
End of that game, that was brutal.
Yeah, but we had Skylar Thompson. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's not like the Jets had anything to play for.
The Jets never played the Dolphins with our number 1 quarterback. They played with Skylar Thompson basically both games.
That's fair. I think it'd be 100% much more competitive if we actually had a quarterback.
No, absolutely. I think, again, if I'm putting things together for next season, and we're in March. It's March 7th. So free agency hasn't come. The draft hasn't come. We're basing everything off last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Tua being healthy.
Of course.
And Buffalo getting better and not getting better. But even if they stay the same and the defensive tackle, or not the tackle, but the guy from Denver that got hurt.
Bradley Chubb.
No, he's a Dolphin. The one that played for the Bills.
I am lost.
He played for the Rams. He won the Super Bowl and then
Von Miller.
Von Miller. Thank you. Jesus,
yeah.
What's wrong with me? I think it's still Buffalo, Miami, Jets, Patriots.
I would. It'd be interesting because now here's the thing: Miami did play with a lot of injuries, especially considering the Von Miller injury, and we want to see how him and Bradley Chubb would fare together. That's Von Miller's on the Bills. What am I even talking about? Yeah. The Dolphins look pretty solid overall. See how Xavier Howard plays next year. What's interesting about the quarterback situation with Miami is considering Lamar has been linked to Miami just a little bit. It's been slight, hasn't been crazy. And Tua has yet to be signed yet. It's interesting. It really is interesting. Will Tua be the starter if healthy? You don't know. Will Tua even play football next year? You don't know at this point, considering he hasn't been signed yet. That's the only thing. If the longer he stays unsigned,
he's
the more
he's still under contract.
I thought he has
no. He's a number 5 pick in the first round. You have a 4th year, and then your 5th year is the option. So technically, he is still under contract.
Oh, okay. So
they haven't extended the 5th year option or gave him an extension.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
So, I'm a Tua fan, mostly because he's a Dolphin. He first, and we've been over this, and we won't go too deep in the woods here. First 2 years with that ridiculous coach Flo, who could not field a good offensive coaching staff.
Yeah,
and he's a Patriot, former Patriot, which they all pretty much suck as coaches. He flourished while he played and healthy under Mike McDaniel. So I would love to have him come back. The biggest thing holding up is we don't have a first round pick this year.
That too.
So
you kind of do.
No, we don't. We lost one.
Who has the first pick in the second round?
I think our first pick is 51.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought you guys had that pick. You guys got stripped of the end. Never mind.
Yeah, so we lost our pick, and then we traded our Niner pick to, I think, the Eagles to get what's his name? Waddle.
Was it the Waddle pick? Yeah.
It was the Waddle pick.
Or was it the Chubb pick?
Oh no, you're right. You're right. It was the Chubb pick. Which we extended him, which I'm not really sure. But we got Vic Fangio. He's a really good defensive coordinator. I think our defense will be solid. Yeah, I think that's one of the best defensive coaches we've had in quite a while. Although,
if I were to just talk expectations-wise, though, if the Jets get Aaron Rodgers with how well they played defensively last year, maybe if they sign, I would think we'd need another receiver just because as well as Elijah Moore played his rookie season with Zach Wilson and how well Garrett Wilson played his rookie season, even with Zach Wilson and Joe Flacco, like, that's 2 back-to-back rookie seasons where we've had guys play outstandingly. Garrett Wilson winning Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, rather. We don't want to risk the same thing Garrett Wilson in the sophomore season where we say, oh, he was amazing, similar to Elijah Moore, and then not have anything crazy happen. If we do get Aaron Rodgers, you'd expect more, right? I think expectations-wise, the Jets are expected to compete for that division, no?
No,
to compete to win it.
One, the media of New York and ESPN will be all over. And if you think about it, you have Mike Greeny for ESPN who does Get Up, who's a huge Jets fan.
Yeah.
And then on Colin Cowherd, The Herd, you have Jason McIntyre, who's a huge Jets fan.
Yeah.
And then you have the new guy that's a New York radio personality, Carlton Show. He's a huge Jets fan. I've heard more about the damn Jets since all those guys have been on TV than I ever wanted to.
And now imagine with
the expectations. The expectations of A-Rod or Aaron Rodgers going there will be through the roof. 100%.
Exactly. Yeah, they're expected to fight the Bills and the Dolphins for the AFC East.
No, I agree. They won't because they're the Jets.
You can't put that stereotype on that though, because that's not fair.
Well, history tells me even with Favre, they couldn't do it. He got hurt. Granted, he got hurt.
Yeah, but that's like saying that's like the Bengals are the Bengals. Like the Bengals ended up coming on what?
Yeah, but Joe Burrow is a way better quarterback than
Aaron
Rodgers right now. Right now,
100%. I'm not undoubtedly, and especially with their offense is definitely much more stacked. I can't even disagree with that at all. I'm just saying that just to say it's the Jets. No, you can't say that. They do have one of the best defenses in the league, hands down. I don't think we can dispute that. Correct?
No, I think top 5.
Top 5, yeah, one of the best.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's just the Jets.
They have the number 13 overall pick in the draft right now. It is the Jets. I get that, yes. But people were saying that about the Dolphins coming in after the last couple of years when they were in that whole drought.
They're the Dolphins. I agree. I mean, if we got Aaron Rodgers, I don't think we win that division either. So,
really?
I don't. And it's funny. For the last 5, maybe 7 years, I predicted that Aaron Rodgers would be a Dolphin. And at this moment right now, I would rather play one more year with Tua.
Really?
Because if Tua gets hurt, which undoubtedly he's going to, because that's who he is.
It's going to happen. It's just a matter of
that's just who he is.
Yeah.
Next year's quarterbacks coming out of the draft, fucking fire.
Exactly. This year's too.
So-
This year's are insane as well. It's a pretty stacked class.
No. They're going to
But
be okay.
oh, come on. You don't like CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, the athletic demon. Even Will Levis is starting to go under the radar now, even though I don't love him, but even he's going under the radar completely. You still have
I don't think there's
guy.
a Pro Bowl between all four of the guys that you just said.
Not one Pro Bowler, really?
Not one.
Considering how shit the NFL has been at the quarterbacks.
Think about we're in the quarterback like height. I mean, this is like the quarterback dream. We have the best quarterbacks that have ever been in the league.
I feel like a lot of teams need quarterbacks though, like more than ever, if anything.
No, everybody's looking up at Mahomes. Everybody's like, "Oh, we got to compete with Mahomes."
That's different though. Mahomes is a whole different level. You'd have to build a team to play against Mahomes.
Exactly.
Mahomes is number one, and then you have like 2A, 2B, 2C. Like it doesn't even compare to Mahomes.
I think Burrow's up there. I would say Burrow's
is next
solid 2, not a 2B. I
just meant that like it's like S tier for Mahomes. Then there's the rest in A tier.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, you agree. You think Rodgers is going to Green Bay?
No, I think he's going to the Jets. I genuinely fully believe.
I mean the Jets. Sorry, he's going to the Jets.
You want to know why? Because we have heard these rumors of Aaron Rodgers going ahead, and obviously he is an attention guy. Let's be honest. Like he loves the attention in the offseason. You can't even deny it. Guy goes on Pat McAfee's show every single Tuesday to promote that as much as he possibly can. Tell us about his darkness retreat and all that stuff. He tells us about when he leaves darkness retreat and all that. He goes right back on the Pat McAfee show every single Tuesday. It's a regular thing now for him, right? So the guy loves the offseason attention, and he did it last season to where he was essentially saying he wanted to leave. He requested a trade. They were expecting to go through that, etc. It was either they get rid of him or they retire, or he retires, and then what happens? He ends up signing that new deal with them, right? I don't know.
Yep.
They lose Devontae Adams. They get nothing for it. Like, they don't really do much in the draft. They don't give him anything in the offseason. They signed Sammy fucking Watkins. How long that lasts? Much less than Romeo Doubs lasted in that little hype train. So the thing with it is Aaron Rodgers accepting talk with another team publicly and now going to meet with them face to face with them flying out to. I mean, come on. We haven't really heard that in a hot minute. I just think it's a little bit more than we've ever been given. Maybe I'm taking the bait. Maybe it is bait. You never know. If it is bait, then there's genuinely one other chance for the Jets to do anything. It would have to be Lamar Jackson. Otherwise, it's what's the answer for them? And please don't say Jimmy G, because I will not accept that. I'm not accepting Jimmy G as our quarterback. I'm way past that now.
Yeah, well, that might be your boy.
That'd be horrible. That'd genuinely be horrible. I'd hate every bit of it, because the fact I trade away your number 13 pick and trade away whatever you got to do to go ahead and get Lamar Jackson if you cannot get Aaron Rodgers at 0%. Like, they don't want to. The rumor is that you don't even have to give up a first rounder to get Aaron Rodgers right now. Why the hell wouldn't we do that?
Now, I did see that supposedly Aaron Rodgers and Jets were talking directly. Did Green Bay actually give permission? Because he is under contract, and that would be tampering if they talked without that. And I know tampering because we got screwed last year with our first round pick. So I understand the tampering rules better than ever.
Yeah.
I did not see a report, and everybody's watching, that Green Bay said, yes, Rodgers, you can go out and pursue a trade. Have you seen that?
There wasn't some public statement overall, but considering that he has talked to them, and now the Jets officials are going to fly out, they have flown out. I'm assuming they'd be there by now, considering it's New York to Green Bay. It's not really the longest flight on the planet. They're probably already there right now in Green Bay discussing with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay? Wouldn't he be in Malibu right now? That's where he has a home there.
They said he's flying out to Green Bay, so that's what they said. That's what the report said.
I haven't seen. I saw that there was a rumor saying that they were talking, but I didn't see that they flew out. So maybe
I think I just retweeted or quote tweeted it. Let me go check right now. I think it's PFF. Was it? Yeah, PFF. Jets team's officials are flying to Green Bay today. This was as of 3 hours ago. I'll give you the exact time.
No,
2:12 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah.
Hey, sometimes I miss them.
To meet with Aaron Rodgers in person. So it doesn't say with Green Bay, but considering they've met on digitally and now they're meeting in person, there's definitely been some type of thing granted. Otherwise, the fact that all this is extremely public, that is as blatant of tampering as it could have gotten. It would have been shut down immediately.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we just spent 15 minutes on what Aaron Rodgers loves: attention.
Yeah.
Let's move on to other quarterbacks. Geno freaking Smith. Speaking about Jets quarterbacks, $105 million over 3 years. Although from what I read, it's a 2-year deal, or at least a two-year guaranteed, and then a team option for the third year.
$35 million a year. He's getting paid less than Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Well, I know we kind of glossed over Daniel Jones, but let's get back to him. Let's talk about Geno Smith first.
Yeah.
I am extremely happy for this guy.
Yeah.
He came in with attitude. He felt disrespected because he didn't get in the first round. The Jets took him in the second round. I think it was the first pick or second pick of the second round. And I think he got punched in the jaw because he didn't pay somebody for some ticket in the locker room. And then he went to the Giants, and then he took over. Then he ended Manning's freaking 500 game or whatever it was, 300 game starting streak.
Yeah.
Goes to the Seahawks, sits behind probably the most spoiled quarterback and overrated quarterback in a long time, Russell freaking Wilson.
Good for him. He won a Super Bowl. That's all that matters for him, I guess.
No, his defense did, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, I think by the way, that was the worst thing that could have happened to him because it just inflated every bit of him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And now Geno Smith is a made man in the NFL, quarterbacking the Seattle Seahawks. Good for him.
Literally.
Yeah, it's a great story. I think we'll get a 30 for 30 on how he didn't write him back when they wrote him off.
Infamous quote. One, considering it was against the Broncos too. He had to do it there.
No,
if he was going to do it on prime time of any other place, it had to be against the Broncos in Week 1, introducing the world back to the NFL, and you get Geno Smith beating Russell Wilson, where it's supposed to be a setup game with the Broncos, the new team competing for the Super Bowl against one of the shittiest teams in the NFL that's expected to get the number 1 pick next year.
Yep,
they finished 9-8. Broncos didn't make the playoffs.
Yep, they tried a 61-yard field goal in Seattle. Brilliant, I tell you.
Russell Wilson. I mean, this is like the whole thing that you have. You got the quarterback. Go ahead and use it now.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to let the time run down and call a timeout because the kicker said he could do it.
Sure as hell he couldn't have.
All right. We don't want to spend too much time on Geno. I just want to congratulate him.
They're going to compete. It's a
very
shit
happy
NFC.
for him. Hey, you know what? Talking about a good round, a good they had some really good picks, just like the Jets did last year.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks had some really good picks. Tackle, right tackle, running back. I love that running back. He went to Michigan State. I wanted the Dolphins to pick him up.
Kenneth Walker, yeah.
Yep, just an amazing kid. So, all right, let's get back to probably – I think this will go down as one of the worst contracts ever for a quarterback in today's game. Who in the hell gives it pisses me off. I can't believe the Giants are this stupid. Why would they give him $140 million?
It's because Gettleman refuses to accept that he was wrong in the Daniel Jones drafting, and he just wants to continue to push it. And because Daniel Jones had a much better season than he had before, and he did help them compete and beat the Vikings, who were 13-4, and now, like everybody in the world was betting against the Vikings in that game and going to bet on the Giants, although the Giants had the most depleted roster in the entire NFL. Probably alongside the Rams, let's be honest. But I mean, it was honestly hilarious. The $40 million a year, come on, man! It's gonna be bad. It's gonna end up so bad in a year or two.
He only threw 15 touchdown passes last year.
Yep. Granted, receiving core was all dead, and it's not like it ended up. It's not like it started off as a craziest receiving core ever either.
Yeah, that's true. They did get rid of Galloway. That's probably another bad contract with a different discussion.
Galladay, yeah, and then Kadarius Toney got himself out of there and won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
That's good for him.
That's great.
And he's gonna be the wide receiver 1 for the Chiefs next year, apparently. That's what the Chiefs said. The Chiefs wanted him to.
Okay. I must have missed that. Yeah. So, and then they franchise tagged
Saquon Barkley.
So I think that's all good. I'm sitting here trying to think, why would they do this? And the only thing I can think of is, well, there's two things. One, Gettleman.
Yeah.
I think you're right about that. Wait, Gettleman's gone.
Was Gettleman gone?
Yeah, no, I was like, wait a
Gettleman
second. No. I was like, wait a second. Gettleman's gone. Yeah, he was fired last year. But they brought in a new GM, and then they brought in the new head coach from Buffalo.
Oh yeah, it was initially him that it's shown as the GM right now, Joe Schoen.
Yeah.
So initially Gettleman was like the one that was the whole story before. Obviously, Gettleman was the guy that literally refused to accept that he was wrong on that decision, essentially, right?
Yes.
And Daniel Jones was horrible for those first couple of years. I mean,
he had some bad head coaches. I mean, he had a Patriots. He had a Patriots coach, and whenever there's a Patriots coach, that team always fails.
Exactly, because
that's just the way it is.
Belichick.
Exactly.
And Brian Dable's a magician, I guess. I mean, the guy solved Josh Allen. And
that's my number 2 reason.
Yeah.
I think Daniel Jones should send Josh Allen some Omaha meats, a nice, a trip to the Bahamas for him and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because he got this contract because of what Daboll did with Allen.
Mm.
And it looks like he's going to be able to do the same. I mean, in fairy tale land.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to be able to do the same thing with
Jones.
With Jones.
Winning wise, I mean, they're winning more. Passing wise, obviously, a whole different aspect. You kind of need the talent to do it and to read the defenses and to hit those passes. But I mean, we'll see if they have another winning season. Can we even say anything at that point? I feel like that's the only objective, considering the roster.
Yeah, but again, is Jones a top 10 quarterback in the NFC, which we all agree is the worst quarterback conference?
Easily. I mean, what do you have? You have Jalen Hurts.
We've already been through all this. We named 8 earlier in the podcast, and Daniel Jones wasn't even a thought.
And he probably is going to have to be a top. I don't even think we could even consider him not being one, because the Bucs have Kyle Trask. The Panthers have, as of now, I would assume Matt Corral being the starting one, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Whoever the hell their starting one is. Derek Carr is now in there. The Falcons have Marcus Mariota. I wouldn't consider him. No,
he's gone.
Desmond Ritter. My bad.
Ritter, yeah.
Yeah, the younger Marcus Mariota. The Bears have Justin Fields, so you'd have to consider. I mean, for now, the Packers for now have Aaron Rodgers and or Jordan Love. Lions, I would put Goff probably over Daniel Jones, just considering how well he played this season. I hate Kirk Cousins. He just has to be a top 10. Similarly with Dak Prescott, I hate him.
Yep.
Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Matt Stafford. I mean, of the 16 teams, it'd be pathetic if he wasn't top 10, let's be honest. And
he won't be.
Really? Top 10?
Daniel Jones?
In the NFC.
No. Oh, okay. I'll say he's 10.
Yeah, he could be up there.
$40 million for number 10? Come on.
Yeah, look, I don't think he deserved $40 million. I think the quarterback payment thing is blown completely out of proportion, because now if you have any sort of competence, it becomes now you need a contract. Well, I don't think that's really right, let's be honest. As on top of all that, I think the biggest part of this entire thing is, like I was saying, I thought the talent in quarterback started steeping. I think they're starting to take less chances with those rookies in the draft classes. And like, for example, Malik Willis, of how highly touted he was coming into last season. Look how he just completely flopped. I mean, what do you even do with that, right? Yeah. Now you just see some other athletic freaks like Anthony Richardson, although Richardson is a whole different athletic demon than Malik Willis was. Malik Willis was athletic. Anthony Richardson is different athletic wise.
Well, you can't one played Division I, one played Division II.
Yeah, and then the big part about the whole thing is, can he read the offenses? How well is he going to be able to play in the big moments in just a crowd overall in an NFL setting, right? So that's the one thing Combine can't really take much note of. That's why I like CJ Stroud a lot, because in the worst games for Ohio State, when they're getting plummeted by Michigan, or when they were getting plummeted in the college football playoffs, that guy played outstanding. That guy was unbelievable every single game.
Yeah, no, again, I'm not a huge fan of Ohio State quarterbacks, because I can't recall a good one over the last 20 years.
Easily.
However, I've seen him play quite a few times, and he's always looked. What's the word I'm looking for?
Poised.
No, I'm not. No, yes, sure, poised. But he seemed not an NFL quarterback. That's not what I want to say. Basically, I thought he was just a typical Ohio State quarterback that looks good because they're a number one team, top 4 team, 5 team in college football. He always has better players. He has better wide receivers. He has better running backs. But that game against Georgia reminded me of the game that Herbert had against Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl, where I was like, where did this guy come from? Because I watched a lot of, living on the West Coast, I watched quite a few Duck games when Herbert was there. And I thought he was, again, a typical Duck quarterback. Looks good because they're playing Pac-12, excuse me.
Yeah, Pac-12 is not
Pac-12, and they're not strong. And Oregon always has, Nike basically owns them. They get a lot of exposure.
Yeah.
But that game against the Rose Bowl, he came out and he looked like a top 5 quarterback, top 6 quarterback.
Exactly.
So CJ Stroud, for me, I think he's made me think a little bit more about who he is. But I still don't think he's a Pro Bowler. I don't, at least not within the next 5 to 6 years.
Oh, 5, 6. I'd probably bet on him being it.
I don't think there's any quarterbacks coming out of the class that are going to be a Pro Bowler in the next 5 years.
I guess we'll see. I mean,
I think this quarterback class reminds me of the Baker Mayfield, the Sam Darnolds, that whole group.
To be fair, that was a very highly touted one. So this would be a crazy call by you, by the way, if it ends up hitting right.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be a very good prediction, I'll be honest with you. Because, that was a very highly touted one as well. And,
it was.
And they're dying out immediately, isn't it?
Yeah.
If anything, probably more highly touted, considering those guys were, picked at the very, very top. Some of these quarterbacks might fall a little bit lower.
I think the only one that falls out of the top 10 is Levis.
Yeah, I think Richardson's stock just blew up right now.
Well, I think Seattle picks him up in the 6th pick.
Seattle?
Yep.
Why Seattle?
Because he'll get to sit behind. First of all, Carroll likes running mobile quarterbacks. He likes to run the ball and have a strong offense and a good defense, which is why they got Russell Wilson out of Wisconsin way back when, 9, 10, whatever it was, years ago.
Yeah.
Geno Smith, mobile quarterback. I mean, he's not Lamar Jackson, but he moves. He's pretty fast, moves around. He has a 2-year contract with a 3-year option. He'll get to sit and learn the Seahawks system. He's super athletic. They might be able to use him on other plays. I think that's a perfect fit for his style to allow him to get used to NFL, the speed, work on his accuracy, work on his throwing motion. I think if I'm him, that's where I want to go.
Yeah, the thing with it is, that'd be, again, I still think that'd be an insane prediction by you if you end up getting that right. I just think they'd probably want to try to compete. I feel like they go for one of the defensive linemen just because of how strong the defensive linemen up there are.
Well, they have 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, I'm saying the number 5 pick, you would assume, right?
Yeah. What's the other one? The other one's 19, 20 because
other one's
the
number 20 pick. Yeah,
so,
I could see maybe even a corner. I think they up their defense.
No,
I don't think Richardson falls to 20. I mean, I don't think.
No, I know he doesn't. That's why they're going to get him at 6.
Him at 5.
I thought they were at 6. Are they at 5?
I think they're at 5. I think Detroit's at 6.
Okay, I thought then I missed all that.
At least this is an NFL mock draft I'm looking at least for the March 7, 2023. This is what it looks like. So yeah, at 5, I feel like if Jalen Carter, it'd be insane if Will Anderson drops that far. I don't think he does, but if Jalen Carter ends up dropping that, you know what I mean? I don't think they'd probably pass on him. I think Richardson actually gets taken before that. I think Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and Richardson all get taken relatively higher up.
Wow. Okay. Well, Seattle does have the draft capital. They have 2 1s, 2 2s, and 2 3s.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this could be one of the craziest draft trade sequences that we're going to see in a minute because the Bears are still undecided. Yeah,
and rumor has it the Colts really want CJ,
and the Cardinals still have a higher up pick.
Yeah. That's another that quarterback's a whole different discussion.
Yeah.
All right. Any other topics you want to talk about?
I mean, did we even have anything else? I mean, I could double check real quick, but I think we covered a good amount of the quarterback stuff that's been spiraling around. Oh, Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry being on the trade block, not trade block necessarily, but they're shopping him around now.
That's what happens when you're paying Tannehill $35 million.
It was just absolutely fucking ridiculous because you're just going to lose him. You're just going to keep losing with him because he's not that good.
That's another guy getting paid a lot for not being a top 10 AFC quarterback. Now, if I were him, I'd want to go to the NFC. Trade me to Atlanta. I was shocked that Arthur Smith, who's the head coach for the Falcons, who used to be the offensive coordinator for Tennessee or the Titans, did not want to at least try to get him over there. At least try, because Tannehill had the best success with him as their as Tannehill he had the best success with Tannehill had the best success with Arthur Smith being his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Took me about 10 minutes to get that out, and I apologize to people that are listening. So yeah, Tannehill, he was a Dolphin, so good riddance. Derrick Henry, where do you think he lands?
Look, I'm not saying he will, and I really hope he doesn't, just because we're in the same division as them. But the Bills, in my opinion, the number one thing they should be targeting this entire offseason, there are two things. But number one, a running back, because you put a running back, a very solid running back, behind Josh Allen and behind that pass offense, it'd be disgusting. And the number two thing they should go for is another receiver, because Gabriel Davis is not a number two receiver. He's a number three deep threat, Swiss Army knife, quote unquote, receiver that you could just throw deep to. Nothing else. The guy drops the ball way too fucking much. He's not the greatest of route runners either. He's a big game guy that you're going to launch to and try to distract them with the other good options that you have on offense, as opposed to him being one of those quote unquote good options. Derrick Henry, a trade for Derrick Henry should be imminent for them. I thought Kareem Hunt should have been imminent for them in the during the trade deadline last season when he was available for a 4th round pick, and they decided to trade a 5th round for Nyheim Hines, who they didn't even use as a running back.
Right. From the Colts, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think Derrick Henry, number one thing you'd want to do is go to the Bulls. Not him. My bad. The Bills' number one thing should be to go get Derrick Henry. That'd probably be the best fit. That'd probably be the smartest thing for the Bills to go ahead and do. Otherwise, they are on the hot seat to go ahead and get a running back and a receiver, in my opinion, coming on this offseason. Maybe boost up the O-line just a little bit. Now, the main thing I'm looking at right now is where, obviously, like you said, where in the NFC could Derrick Henry go ahead and compete, right?
Yeah.
The Eagles. Let's be honest.
No.
Do they have the draft capital? I don't think so. I mean, I don't know how much you're going to need to go ahead and trade for him, right?
Yeah, and I think Sanders is a unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, they have the number 10 pick, by the way. I don't think they'll trade the number 10 pick for Derrick Henry, considering his age, considering injury concerns, and again, the age. They have 2 first-round picks, though. They have the number 10 and the number 30. I don't know how much you'll need a first-round pick. What was Christian McCaffrey trade for?
I don't remember.
I got to go check that out right now. He was younger. He obviously gets to be used in more facets of the game. I think that trade is going to highlight to a lot of these teams that look how well the San Francisco 49ers did with essentially probably the best Swiss Army knife in the game. Probably the most dynamic overall player that could do essentially everything, right? They traded a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th.
That's right.
In addition to a 2024 5th round pick. So a 2nd and 3rd and a 4th for this draft, and a 5th round for next draft for Christian McCaffrey. I think the Eagles can 100% afford Derrick Henry, and I think it'd actually be scary. Imagine having a Derrick Henry RPO with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that would be.
With your receivers being A.J. Brown, which would be, again, hilarious for A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry to go just to the Eagles. Devontae Smith also being there, how well he played. Dallas Goedert being in there for them as well. They have a couple of fourth string receivers that have been pretty solid overall for them. So I think that's a beautiful fit for them. I think that's a Super Bowl winning team already. Could you imagine if they had Derrick Henry? Any other team? Probably not.
And his base salary, I know he's a running back, but it's only $10.5 million this year.
Exactly. I mean, considering what Derrick Henry has been, right?
Well, that's part of the problem. He's been running and rushing a lot, and that's a lot of miles. He was running a lot in Bama. He's been running a lot. Although the first couple of years of his career, he was in and out because he was hurt a lot.
Yeah.
But when he got going, he's a stud. He's in the final year of his 4-year, $50 million contract. So
and you don't need him to have that many carries in Philadelphia.
No, that's true. He'll definitely have a lot less touches. Definitely.
Yeah, you get to shorten the amount of carries that Jalen Hurts has, so you don't have to risk your quarterback often. And you get to also shorten the amount of carries Derrick Henry has, split that up a little bit more. Maybe even keep Miles Sanders and go ahead and run him as the 2.
I also read a couple days ago when this report first came out is that the Dolphins were looking into it. But
I think that's another great fit. If we're going to do AFC, I think the 2 best fits, honestly, in the AFC would be the Bills and the Dolphins for Derrick Henry.
According to Vegas, those are the 2 top teams too. Buffalo's first, Dolphins second. And I don't think he'd have to run the ball that much in Miami either.
No, he wouldn't. Because of Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah. Huh. But he has a lot of carries, man. That worries me. But it is what it is. I think as a Dolphin fan, I think I'd stay away from it personally.
Really? What if they asked for a second? They asked for a second and a third. You'd give it up?
Well, that means we wouldn't have a draft pick to the 4th. We can't do that.
Fair.
We can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, it depends on your draft capital as well. If you have enough to give up, sure. Otherwise, yeah.
I'm trying to think of another place he could go. Chicago, maybe?
I think that'd be stupid. I mean,
they're
not even certain on keeping the quarterback.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's what the reports say, but who knows? But
yeah. Chicago hasn't come out and made a statement either way.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's typically, if I actually wanted him, I wouldn't tell people I wanted him.
Fair enough. But again, I would think that to make your quarterback happy, especially if you do value him, and there are rumors saying you might not want him and might want to trade him. If you want to make him happy and you know that for a fact that you want to keep him, you probably say something about it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I would rather fly underneath the radar. But that's just me.
Really?
Yeah. All right. Hey, I really appreciate you taking the time. This is as always, it's fun. Tonight you're running the contest.
Yep. 76ers at Timberwolves.
Contest. What game is it?
76ers at Timberwolves. The game starts at 7:30. The contest obviously opens with questions at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Perfect. All right, man. We'll talk soon.
Of course, man. See ya.
Bye.
All I see is money, 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 money. Yeah. All I see is money.